The youth is putting governments on a corruption watch. Who's galvanizing the youth? That remains a question. Gen Z protests are being seen in another part of the world. Gen Z protesters have taken to the streets in several countries across the world. As we've seen, 3 countries are currently boiling point due to an anti-corruption movement driven by youngsters: Morocco, Madagascar and Peru. And this is coming shortly after what happened in Nepal. In Madagascar, protesters are demanding the resignation of the country's president, Andry Rajoelina. They have now called for a general strike. The calls for sweeping reforms come amid growing dissent and outcry over failure of electricity and water supplies.
What we are demanding is the resignation of the president because we no longer agree with his policies, especially the suppression. We don't like it at all. The forces are no longer working to protect the population, but to frighten it, and we are not afraid at all. Moreover, oppression is not a solution.
The demand has been raised after Rajoelina sacked the Prime Minister and the entire government in response to demonstrations which have since turned chaotic and deadly. The students are joining in too, calling for a complete overhaul of the system.
I think that this movement is the way to change the system. We need to rearrange things because it's this system that makes it easier for power to be monopolized by a certain group of people who only care about their own well-being.
Across several cities of Morocco, the youth clash with police on the 4th day of protest. According to a human rights body in the country, authorities have arrested more than 200 protesters in the capital city of Rabat so far. Moroccans have been demanding reforms in the sectors of public health and education. The latter triggered involvement from Gen Z demonstrators, while it is the death of 8 pregnant women in hospitals which snowballed into public anger on the streets. Let's look at what's happening in Peru. The weekend in Peru's capital witnessed unrest too. 19 people have been injured in anti-government protests. Thousands are out on the streets against growing accusations of corruption and extortion by the government. Heavy police presence triggered a standoff between protesters and authorities.
They're just standing there guarding. I imagine they've had their salaries raised so they can stand there and do nothing. Here they all gather bravely and stand united, but when it comes to crime out on the street, no. They're never there and they always show up late, which is infuriating.
Unrest on the streets of Peru increased after President Dina Boluarte's government passed a law on September 5th which mandates contribution from young people towards private pension funds. The law comes at a time when Peruvians are scrambling with job insecurity.